In this tutorial, we will explain the SLS and SMS safety functions. We want to realize 3 speed limits. There is a maximum speed we want to monitor, which should have the value of 360 degrees per second, a work speed, which should not exceed 100 degrees per second, and a speed of safe operation mode, which should be 10 degrees per second. Warning: this tutorial does not replace the user manual. Please make sure to read through the user manual before using the configuration tool. Using this configuration tool affects the safety of the machine. Only authorized and instructed operators are allowed to use this tool. To follow this tutorial, you need to be logged in. Then create a new configuration. In the tab Configuration Axis 1, set the unit for speed to degrees per second and the decimal place to 1. Now we will configure inputs with which we want to activate or deactivate the safety functions. Click on Interface and then Digital Inputs. Select DI3, type in Work Mode as the name, and select Single Channel. Now click on DI4, name it Safe Operation, and select Single Channel again. Now we can parameterize our 3 safety functions. To do this, go to the tab Safety Functions Axis 1. We will start with SMS use count. Scroll down and add 1 into the value field of SMS use count. Now a new tab appears in the side menu called Safe Maximum Speed. Select it. For the parameter SMS Limit Plus, put in your maximum speed, 360 degrees per second, and for the parameter SMS Limit Minus, put in negative 360 degrees per second. It is important for the SMS function to set the limit correctly. There is an important setting called Input Selection SMS Request of this function. Make sure to set it at 0 so that the function is always active. To configure the SLS functions, go back to the Safety Functions Axis 1 tab in the side menu. In the value field of SLS use count, put in the number 2. You will see that there are 2 SLS functions showing up in the submenu. Select the first one. Here we want to configure our safe operation speed limit. You will see a diagram which shows you how the SLS function actually works. After a request of the slow speed, the monitoring of this speed doesn't immediately start, but only after a deceleration ramp. This deceleration ramp must be preset through parameters. A deceleration ramp is described with a speed and a time, which is theoretically needed to decelerate from the speed to 0. Furthermore, we have a maximum time t1. The deceleration ramp must not be any longer than this time. The first parameter is VSLS ramp. This is a nominal speed at the start of the limiting deceleration ramp. We will set it to 360 degrees per second. The next parameter is TSLS ramp. This is the nominal time of limiting deceleration ramp. This means if the axis starts at maximum speed of 360 degrees per second, we will have a maximum time for the deceleration of 500 milliseconds. Below, we have the parameter t1. This describes the maximum time to reach a speed below the requested speed limit. Put in the value 500 milliseconds. TD1 is a delay time. The monitoring of the deceleration time will not start immediately, but after the short delay time, which is defined by TD1. For now, set it to 20 milliseconds. There is another delay time called TD2, which describes the delay time until the monitoring starts after the speed has decreased below the requested speed limit. If the speed limit is violated during TD2, this is not interpreted as an error. We will set it to 40 milliseconds for now. The most important parameter is the speed limit. Choose 10 degrees per second in the safe operation speed that we want to monitor. This SLS function should only be active in certain states. We can choose the states in the Select Input window. Here, DI4 safe operation should activate the function. The same procedure is used for the other SLS function. We enter the second speed limit function and again set the ramp parameters with the same values, except for the SLS limit, where we want to enter our work mode speed with the value of 100 degrees per second. Lastly, select your input, here the DI3 work mode. Now you have configured the SLS and SMS safety functions. Make sure to check out our other tutorials on how to use the bel.guard configuration tool.